So 16-7 here, Patriots. Ensuing kickoff. Marvin Mims Jr., bobbles the kick, picks it up, fumbles it again, recovered by the Patriots, and it's a touchdown. So 2 touchdowns for the Patriots. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bobby Valentine Sports Show. I'm your host, Frank Rampin, and let's dive into Week 16 of the NFL season. I know, Week 16, unbelievable. We're already after Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you. Hope you had a great day, Christmas Eve and Christmas with your family. Happy holiday season. Hope everyone had a great day with family and friends. But let's get into Week 16 of the NFL season, Episode 32 of the Bobby Valentine Sports Show, and let's get right into our weekly recap. So Christmas week in the NFL. Merry Christmas to all. And 24 teams are still alive for playoff contention. Tied for the most with 2 weeks left in the season since 2004. 24 of the 32 teams still alive. And my Raiders, big win on Christmas Day yesterday. One of those 24. But tied for the most with 2 weeks left since 2004. Pretty crazy. And after last night in our Super Bowl rematch, actually it was a Super Bowl rematch between the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers from the when the lights went off in 2012. But a Super Bowl hopeful possibility future matchup that we might see in February. But the Baltimore Ravens were able to go to Santa Clara and take down the San Francisco 49ers by a score of 33-19. And that makes it 8 consecutive times on Monday Night Football where the underdog takes the win. The longest streak in Monday Night Football history continues. I mentioned that last podcast. It just continues this week as the Ravens go into Santa Clara and come out with a resounding win. Statement win for them. And we'll go into our play of the week. And we got a little bit of a double play of the week here, but some NFL history in the making. Unreal scenes from Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium, Jihad Field, whatever you want to call it. Unbelievable stuff. Let's just jump right into it. And I already said it, the Raiders came up with a big win, keeping themselves alive for the playoffs, taking down the Chiefs in Arrowhead on Christmas Day. So we'll jump in here. Second quarter, Chiefs are leading 7-3. 5 minutes left in the second quarter. 1st and 10 for Kansas City after a punt from the Raiders from their own 13-yard line. They're running a weird formation where Isaiah Pacheco is actually taking the snap. He's lined up at quarterback, and Mahomes is to his right at running back. So the ball is snapped to Pacheco with Richie James in motion. He tries to hand to Mahomes, but the handoff is botched. The ball's on the ground. Bilal Nichols picks it up, and he storms his way into the end zone for a touchdown. So another big man touchdown, as the Raiders had one last week. Unreal scenes. Mahomes drops the handoff, picked up by Bilal Nichols, touchdown Raiders, puts him up 9-7 because Carlson missed the extra point. There was a botched snap. But ensuing kickoff is a touchback. Chiefs get the ball back on their own 25-yard line. Next play from scrimmage. 1st and 10 from the 25. Mahomes fakes the handoff, throws right, picked off, jumped the route. Jack Jones takes it back to the house. He stares down Mahomes as he takes it in. Unbelievable play from Jack Jones. 2 plays in a row, 2 plays from scrimmage, 2 defensive touchdowns for the Raiders, 7 seconds apart. Look at this. Jack Jones just reads Mahomes, jumps the route, taking off to the crib, and he knows he's gone. He's looking him right in the face. He's telling him, letting him know about it. 17-7 swing, 7 seconds. 2 defensive touchdowns in 7 seconds. Back-to-back plays from scrimmage, and the last 4 touchdowns the Raiders have scored, 4, have all come from the defensive side of the football. Because in their 63-21 rout over the Chargers on Thursday Night Football last week, their last 2 touchdowns of the game were both defensive. One from John Jenkins, that long fumble recovery touchdown, and then that insane play of the week last week, Jack Jones, crazy one-handed pick 6. This week, a botched handoff from Mahomes and Pacheco leads into Bilal Nichols' scoop and score. And then 1 play later, Jack Jones jumps yet another route and takes it to the house, staring down Mahomes as he does it, putting the Raiders up 17-7. And really the final blows in the first half as the game ended up being 20-14 final. So huge swing of events for the Raiders. Unbelievable game that was for me. And what a Christmas present that was for me from the Raiders. Unbelievable game. I was losing my mind. You have no idea. So that's our play of the week. That takes our weekly recap away. And now we're going to head into our game of the week. And, I feel like it's Christmas. I had to. There was a couple of games I could have went with here. Green Bay, Panthers. Panthers stormed back late. Who else? The Jets almost blew a colossal lead. But I feel like I had to go with the Holiday Classic. Christmas Eve, Sunday Night Football. Patriots at Broncos, Why not? Holiday Classic, game of the week. Ended up in a great finish. Had to do it. So, first play of the game. Patriots start with the ball, touchback. First and 10 from their own 25. Bailey Zappi is going to fake a handoff, drop back to throw. Pressure comes, and the ball is out. First play of the game, Bailey Zappi strip sacked, recovered by Denver at the 5-yard line. 7 seconds into the ball game, turnover for the Patriots. Denver already has the ball on their 5-yard line. Not a good start from the Patriots, but on 3rd and goal, Russell Wilson rolls out to his right, throws one into the back of the end zone, and a diving interception is made. Ruled an interception on the field. Unbelievable play. So 2 turnovers in the first 2 minutes of this ball game. But it is reviewed. The referees conclude that the ball hit the ground, 4th and goal, but the Broncos are going to go for it. Hand off to Javonte Williams, and he is tripped up at the 1-yard line. Not going to get in there. So a lot of action to start this game as the Patriots are strip sack, fumble on the first play of the game, and then Broncos get stuffed on 4th and goal, turn it right back over to the Patriots. So a lot of action to start off. 2 turnovers, 1 fumble, and 1 turnover on downs. So Patriots do nothing with the ball, give it back to the Broncos. Nice punt return for them, sets them up nicely. 1st and goal, Russ hands to Javonte Williams. He's going to slither his way through a crease and dive into the end zone. First score of the game, 7-0 Denver here in the first quarter. Next New England possession, they're going to work it down into the red zone, but the drive stalls out. Chad Ryland from 33 yards. His kick is up, and it is good. 7-3 ball game. Patriots still trail by 4 here in early second quarter. So, 1st and 10 here for the Broncos. Russ, feeling the pressure, dumps one off to Javonte Williams, who loses the football. It looks like a Denver Bronco offensive lineman is able to fall on this, but it's ripped away from him on the ground. Unreal play from the Patriots D-line. They wanted that ball more than that offensive lineman for the Broncos did. Takes forever for the refs to sort this one out, but they do eventually rule Patriots football. So a huge turnover there for Javonte Williams, but the Broncos D gets a stop and gets the ball back. Patriots on their next drive, 47-yard attempt from Chad Ryland, misses by about a quarter mile there. Very, very far right. Misses the kicking net by a lot. 30 seconds left in the first half. Patriots have a chance to capitalize after the missed 47-yard field goal. Not very close from Chad Ryland. So that is going to set up Will Lutz for the Broncos as time expires from 57 yards out. 2 seconds left in the half. The kick is up, and it's drifting left, and it is no good. So 2 missed kicks in the last minute of this first half keeps the game at 7-3, 7-3 to halftime. Get my next spot up here. So Patriots on the first drive of the second half, on their first drive of the second half, 3rd and 9 inside the red zone. They work the ball down there. Zappi, feeling the pressure, rolls out to his right, throws to the back of the end zone, and finds Mike Gesicki wide open there. Great play from Zappi, honestly. He made a couple nice throws in this game where he's able to elude pressure in the pocket, move around a little bit, create a little something with his feet, and then throw a touchdown. So 16-7 here, Patriots. Ensuing kickoff. Marvin Mims Jr., bobbles the kick, picks it up, fumbles it again, recovered by the Patriots, and it's a touchdown. So 2 touchdowns for the Patriots in a span of 6 seconds. One from Zappi to Mike Gesicki on a 3rd down play. Nice play from Zappi. 16-7 game. The ensuing kickoff is bobbled twice by Marvin Mims Jr., recovered by the Patriots, rolled into the end zone. 2 touchdowns for the Patriots in 6 seconds. 23-7 New England in absolutely no time at all. What just happened? I don't even know how that happened. I looked up and it was 23-7. Ridiculous. So Broncos need to respond now, down by, 23, 10, 15 points here. So 3rd and 1 inside the red zone. Russell Wilson fakes the handoff. He's going to roll out to his right. Going to throw one to the right side of the end zone, caught by Lucas Kroll. Unknown tight end there from Denver Bronco, making a big play to score the touchdown. They're going to have to go for 2 here. Russell Wilson takes the snap, fires left to Brandon Johnson, who fights his way into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. 8 points there for Denver to make it a 7-point game. To make it an 8-point game. It was a 16-point game. My math is terrible. So the Broncos are able to force a quick stop, get the ball back for their offense and Russell Wilson, giving them a chance. And on 2nd and 20 from the 37-yard line. Russell Wilson's going to evade some pressure, roll out to his right, throw back across the middle of the field, and find Jerry Jeudy for a huge 15-yard pickup, keeping the drive alive. Sets up a third down, though. On that 3rd and 4 from the 21-yard line, 3 minutes to go in the ball game, Russell Wilson surveys, throws to Brandon Johnson on the right side, makes a man miss, and fights his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Huge play there from Brandon Johnson to make a man miss, fight towards the goal line. They have to go for 2, just tie the game. Russ fakes one to Javonte Williams, lofts one to him, 2-point conversion, good, tie ball game. So, Patriots make a huge stand there, or a huge statement there. 2 touchdowns out of absolutely nowhere to go up 16 points. But the Broncos roar all the way back. 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions to tie it up, and a huge stop from the defense in between ties the game at 23 with just under 3 minutes to go in this ball game. So, after this, on the plus side of the 2-minute warning, the Patriots turn the ball over. Not turn the ball over. They go 3 and out. Denver gets the ball back. They go 3 and out too. So, both teams go 2 or 3 and out with 2 minutes left to go in the ball game with the game on the line. So the Patriots get the ball back with about a minute to go. 3rd and 3 here with 47 seconds to go on the clock. Zappe gets the snap, drops back in the pocket, and lofts one deep down the left side, caught by Devontae Parker. Unbelievable back shoulder throw there from Bailey Zappe, his best throw of the day. A couple plays later, he finds Mike Gesicki over the middle to set up the field goal, but they have no timeouts. Patriots hustle up the line and get this ball spiked with 7 seconds to go, and from 56 yards away, after missing a kick by a lot and an extra point in this game, Chad Ryland nails the 56-yard field goal to walk off the Broncos 26-23. The Broncos had another shot, threw up a wild Hail Mary, was unsuccessful, but Chad Ryland redeems himself after missing a field goal by a long, long way that I showed earlier, and an extra point that doinked off the upright, one of the loudest doinks I've ever heard in NFL history, but redeems himself, nails his 56-yarder to win the game for the Patriots, 26-23. What a game for the Holiday Classic. What a game for NFL fans right before Christmas, and what a Christmas weekend it was for the NFL. A lot of great games, a lot of nail-biting finishes, and the Holiday Classic was a nail-biter. So there's our game of the week, Broncos-Patriots. Patriots jump out on top, giving the Broncos a very, very bad loss on their schedule, hurting their playoff chances a lot. So now we'll move into the standings update, and these are really, really starting to get dicey. Really starting to get dicey. Ooh. So like we always do, with the standings update, we'll start with the AFC East. The Miami Dolphins, they finally got their signature win of the season. They moved to 11-4. They beat the Dallas Cowboys 22-20 on a game-winning field goal from Jason Sanders. Oh, my God, I blanked on his name. Jason Sanders, God dang. Finally got a win against a team over 500. Huge win for them. Maybe people will stop talking so much trash about them. 2 seed in the AFC right now. That was a big win. Tyreek Hill didn't have his normal Tyreek Hill game. A little bit of rain in South Florida for that game, so maybe not the offensive explosion that some people thought was going to happen, but it turned into a kicking battle, and Jason Sanders hit 3 field goals in this game over 50 yards. Dolphins, 2 seed in the AFC, but the Buffalo Bills are nipping at their heels. They're 9-6 now. They improved they beat the Los Angeles Chargers 24-22 to improve to 9-6. They move up to the 6th seed in the AFC into the playoff picture, and they are very, very hot. And, they still have a chance to win this division. They'd have to win their last 2, and Miami would have to lose their last 2. But Week 18 is Bills-Dolphins. So next week, if the Bills win and the Dolphins lose, Week 18 is for the AFC East in Miami, I believe. Yeah, the other one was in Orchard Park. So the Bills could come storming back and win this division. The New York Jets, they beat the Washington Commanders 30-28. They improved to 6-9. They were up 27-7 in this game. They almost blew this game. They went down 28-27, actually. Jacoby Brissett came in for Washington and led a couple nice drives to put them up. But they were able to come back, drive down the field, and kick a game-winning field goal. But they're still officially eliminated from the playoffs. The New England Patriots, we just talked about them. They won 26-23 on our Holiday Classic Game of the Week on a game-winning field goal by Chad Ryland. He missed a field goal and an extra point, but he was able to come through in the clutch and win the game. But the Patriots cannot make the playoffs. They're one of those 8 teams that are unable to make the playoffs because 24, 8 teams that can't make the playoffs as of right now. The NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles jump back on top. They beat the New York Giants yesterday on Christmas Day, 33-25. Game was a little bit closer than they would like. They improved to 11-4. Like I said, they didn't look great again. The offense was all right. Jalen Hurts looked a little bit better. He threw a couple nice passes to Devontae Smith. He had a better day than A.J. Brown. DeAndre Swift had a touchdown. But like they had that awful like kick return to open the second half where Boston Scott just ran into his own player, fumbled, recovered by the Giants, led to a touchdown. That really made it a game because it was 20-3 at halftime. Giants came right back into it, and it was a good game by the end of it. Only an 8-point game. Giants had a shot to tie it up late. But the Eagles had their playoff spot clinched, and they moved back up to the 2 seed in the NFC ahead of the Cowboys. Speaking of the Cowboys, they fall to 10-5 because they lost to the Miami Dolphins 22-20. And I mean, they really struggled after their first touchdown drive on offense. CD caught a nice touchdown, 50-yarder from Dak. But after that, it really was just kind of, I don't even know. But their playoff spot is clinched. They move down to the 5 seed, first wildcard spot now. The New York Giants, they fall to 5-10, losing to Philadelphia 33-25 on Christmas Day. Just talked about that again. But Tommy Cutlets, the story of football for the last 3 weeks to a month. His agent, Sean Stellato, Tommy DeVito, benched in this ball game, sacked 8 times, unable to get anything going on offense, benched on Christmas Day. Very sad day for Giants fans, sad day for the Cutlet family. Tyrod came in, though. Tyrod Taylor. Haven't seen him in a while. He's been banged up. He came back in and let it come back pretty much after the second half and got them back in this ball game. He threw an unbelievable pass to Darius Slayton down the left sideline that ended up being a long touchdown on like a 2-play drive, like 75-yard touchdown almost, to get the Giants back in the game. But Tyrod did pretty good in this game, but Tommy Cutlets benched. Looks like that story's over just as fast as the Josh Dobbs story ended a couple weeks ago. The Washington Commanders, just talked about them. They lost to the New York Jets, 30-28. They were down 27-7. Jacoby Brissett came in, brought a little spark into the game, brought them back to make it a 28-27 lead, but they lost on a game-winning field goal. We'll move over to the AFC North. The Baltimore Ravens, like I talked about a little bit in the weekly recap, they improved to 12-3. They just beat the San Francisco 49ers 33-19 in their own building. Just dominated the 49ers in their own building. A statement win on the road. And is this the best team in football now? I don't know. It might be. Lamar is the MVP favorite now, I can tell you that. And Brock Purdy choked his MVP chances away by throwing 4 picks in this ball game. 2 to Kyle Hamilton, 1 to Marlon Humphrey, and I forget who the last one was to, but it was just an ugly day for him. Ugly day for that entire offense. And, I mean, damn, that's not how I expected that game to go at all. I thought it was going to be a dogfight game, back and forth. I thought it was going to be a little bit more defensive. The Niners held it for a little bit, but the first score of this game was a safety for San Francisco. Lamar was running around in his own end zone, got tripped up by the referee, and tried to throw the ball away, but they called him for intentional grounding. So like, sorry, the ref tripped you. Intentional grounding, safety, sorry about it. But Lamar was unfazed, came back in this ball game, and ended up winning the game 33-19. Statement win for the Ravens. They look like the best team in football right now, taking down the 49ers, who looked like they were unstoppable. So, the Cleveland Browns, they improved to 10-5. They beat the Houston Texans 36-20 in a pretty convincing win, and it was an absolutely massive day for Joe Flacco and, more importantly, for Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper broke the Browns' franchise record for receiving yards in a single game with 265 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns on top of it. He had 11 receptions for 265 yards and 2 touchdowns, breaking the Browns' single-game receiving record that Josh Cribbs actually owned. Unbelievable game from Amari Cooper. Cooper now has 4 200-yard receiving games in his career. 4 200-yard receiving games in his career. That's one shy of the NFL record, shared by Calvin Johnson and Lance Allworth. Pretty impressive stuff. And he's the second player ever with a 200-yard game for 3 different teams now. He did it for the Raiders, did it twice for the Raiders, did it for the Cowboys, and for the Browns. That joins Terrell Owens, T.O. He did it for the 49ers, the Cowboys, and the Bengals. Not the Eagles, the Bengals. I thought it was going to be 49ers, Cowboys, Eagles, but it's Bengals. Really weird. So Amari Cooper breaking the Browns' single game franchise record for receiving yards with 265, becoming having 4 games with 200 receiving yards, one shy of the NFL record, and just the second player to have 200-yard receiving yard game for 3 separate franchises. Unbelievable stuff. And Joe Flacco, unbelievable, became the 4th oldest player in NFL history to have 3 straight games with 300-plus passing yards at the young age of 38 and 112 days. He looks amazing. They look amazing. Their defense is a force to be reckoned with. And if Joe Flacco can be doing stuff like this, breaking records with Amari Cooper, 265 yards receiving, they're going to be a problem. They're the 5 seed in the AFC, first wildcard spot right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers, They just improved to 8-7. Big win against the Cincinnati Bengals, 34-11. The offense woke up with Mason Rudolph playing quarterback, and George Pickens had an unreal day. He just became the second Steelers receiver to have 2 touchdown catches of 65 yards or more in the same game. He had one that was like 75 yards, longest play of his career, and then another one that was like 66. So just the second Steeler ever to have 2 touchdown catches of 65 yards or more in the same game. And you're probably thinking, yeah, it was probably Lynn Swann who had the other game. Nope. Louis Lips back in 1988 was the only other Steeler to do that. So Pickens joins him. And the Steelers improved to become the 9 seed in the AFC as a big divisional win, jumps them up. The Cincinnati Bengals, they were my division pick here because they went to the Super Bowl a couple times, AFC Championship, but that doesn't look good right now. They're last in their division. They're 8-7 still, but they just lost to Pittsburgh 34-11. Jake Browning could not protect the football in this game. He did not look very good. T. Higgins had a great day. He scored like a 70-yard touchdown, a bomb, but the Bengals fall out of the playoff picture to the 10 seed in the AFC. Unfortunate for them, and Jamar was not available. T. Higgins took over for that, like I said, but Jamar Chase not in this game definitely hurt the Bengals. Moving to the NFC North now, the Detroit Lions improved to 11-4. They beat the Minnesota Vikings 30-24, and they clinched the division for the first time in 30 years. First time since 1993, the third longest drought in NFL history between division clinches. And what a day for Detroit. What a day for the Lions. And I'm just happy for them, honestly, because now the Browns haven't won their division in 30 years, too. And then the Raiders right after that, 22, I believe it is. Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs just became the first pair of rookie teammates to have 9 or more scrimmage touchdowns each. So the first pair of rookies in the history of the NFL to each have at least 9 touchdowns. Unreal stuff from them. They're the 3 seed in the NFC, clinched the division. Fly high Detroit. We're going to see a playoff game at Ford Field in Detroit. Unbelievable. And they might be playing Matthew Stafford. That would just be unreal. If the Detroit Lions host their first playoff game in what? I mean, they haven't won the division 30 years, so at least 30 years, right? And they have to play against Matthew Stafford. That's going to be an unbelievable storyline. I don't even know what I'm going to think when I'm watching that, and I couldn't imagine my emotions as a Detroit Lions fan watching that game. So I'm rooting for that, honestly, but that would be crazy. Just talk about the Minnesota Vikings. They lost to Detroit 30-24. They fall to 7-8. They fell out of the playoff picture. The quarterback is a problem right now with Kirk Cousins with the torn Achilles. They're the 8 seed in the NFC, but not in the playoff picture right now. And it's not been good. Nick Mullins hasn't been great. Josh Dobbs, after he fell off, they've been struggling. Packers, they improved to 7-8. They beat Carolina by the hair on their chinny chin, 33-30 on a go-ahead field goal with about a minute left to go in the game. They almost blew this game late. It was 30-16 late in this ball game, and it turned 30-30 real quick. Like, Bryce Young brought that Panthers team back really fast. DJ Chark had a bunch of nice plays. Adam Thielen had a couple nice plays, and they tied it up 30-30. Anders Carlson made a field goal to go ahead after he missed 3 extra points in the game. He missed 3 extra points. So if he just made all 3, they'd be up by 3, but he had to kick them up by 3 with about a minute to go. But Bryce Young got Carolina into field goal range with like 5 seconds to go. He hit Adam Thielen over the middle, like with 7 seconds to go in the ball game, and they were unable to get the ball, everyone up to the line and spike it in time before the clock ran out. So close, but the Packers come out with the win. They're the 10 seed in the NFC. The Chicago Bears, they are 6-9 now. They beat the Arizona Cardinals 27-16. Justin Fields looked good in this game. The defense looked good in this game, but the Cardinals are not very good. The AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars are on a decline right now. They're struggling. They've lost, I think, 4 straight. They just lost to Tampa Bay 30-12. Did not look good at all in this game. The offense did not look good. Trevor Lawrence did not look good at all. And it looks like he's hurt. He's underthrowing passes. He's overthrowing passes. He just doesn't look like himself. And the Jags offense is just stagnant. They're very lucky that everyone else lost in their division because they would be gone out of the top spot. They're the 4 seed still. But, like I just said, the Colts and the Texans also lost. The Colts fall to 8-7 as well. They lost to Atlanta 29-10. Not a good loss. They could have taken the division over with a win. They're the 7th seed still sitting in the playoff picture. But next week, huge game against the Raiders because the Raiders just took down Kansas City, playing the Colts in Indianapolis. That's going to be a huge game for the AFC playoff picture. The Houston Texans, they also fell to 8-7. They lost to Cleveland 36-22. They just couldn't stop Amari Cooper. Talked about him. He had 265 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns, 11 catches. Just unbelievable. They need C.J. Stroud back. They really do. They really need C.J. Stroud back. They haven't been the same team without him. Their offense is just not really anything without him. So they need C.J. Stroud. They're one game behind Indianapolis in the AC and the AFC. And if C.J. Stroud comes back next week, they're going to have a chance. But they need him. The Tennessee Titans will round out this division at 5-10. They lost to Seattle on a heartbreaker, 20-17. Geno led a game-winning drive to come down and beat them. Derrick Henry threw another touchdown pass. In Derrick Henry's career, he's 7 for 9 passing with 4 passing touchdowns. 7 for 9 with 4 TDs. That's an unreal stat line for a quarterback. Derrick Henry's a dog. And like I said, they lost on a game-winning drive by Geno Smith. So 2 weeks in a row, the Seahawks have a game-winning drive. Last week it was Drew Lock. This week it's Geno. The NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they had a resounding win against the Jacksonville Jaguars to improve to 8-7. They won the game 30-12. And it just looks like Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans are on the same page right now. They look like they know what they're doing with each other. Baker just looks at him, fires it up, and it's always in the perfect spot. Mike Evans, they're just on the same wavelengths right now, and they can do whatever they want. They're the 4th seed in the NFC. The Atlanta Falcons just beat the Indianapolis Colts 29-10. Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts, they both had good days. Kyle Pitts caught a touchdown pass. Falcons are creeping up. They just passed the Saints this week as the Saints lost. They go to the 9th seed. The Saints just said they lost. They fall to 7-8. They lost to the Los Angeles Rams 30-22 on Thursday Night Football. Bad loss for the New Orleans Saints' playoff hopes, as they really only their chance is to win the division, and they're going to need 2 losses now from Tampa Bay. And we'll see if that happens. They fall to the 11th seed, and like I said, their really only chance is to win the division. The Panthers fall to 2-13 on a heartbreaking loss to Green Bay, 33-30. They came back from down 14 points to tie it up late. They gave up a go-ahead field goal with about a minute to go. Bryce Young led the boys back down the field, got him into field goal range. The last play was to Adam Thielen over the middle for about a 15-yard gain to set it up at the 45. He caught the ball, got down with like 7 seconds to go. They hauled up to the line. Everyone tried to get down there. Bryce Young spiked it, and he went like this, thought there was a second left to go. He was fired up, about to get the game-tying field goal. They ruled that there was no time left on the clock. Game over. Panthers lose by 3. Unfortunate loss for the Panthers. Heartbreaker to go to 2-13. And this whole season, through 15 games, the Panthers have not led for a single second in the fourth quarter. You're probably asking, how do they have 2 wins then? Both of their wins are walk-off as time-expired field goals. So they've not led with time on the clock in the fourth quarter for a singular second all season long. That's the first time this has ever happened in the history of the NFL through 15 games. Unbelievable stuff. That's not very good for the Panthers. Heartbreaker on Sunday. The AFC West now. The Kansas City Chiefs taken down at home to fall to 9-6, lose to the Raiders 20-14 on Christmas Day. 2 turnovers on back-to-back plays resulting in scores from the Raiders defense really killed Kansas City. Mahomes didn't look that good. The Raiders defense was all over him. The pass rush was getting to him all day long. Max Crosby, the absolute demon. I had to pull out the Max Crosby jersey today because the Raiders defense played off the charts. Off the charts. Max Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz on the outside, those 2 edge rushers, gave Mahomes fits yesterday. He could not do anything, and the Chiefs don't even have a chance to win the 1 seed anymore. So for the first time in the career of Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be forced to play a playoff game on the road. But, I mean, this is probably not going to happen, right? The Kansas City Chiefs, they don't have the division locked up yet. If they won this game yesterday, they would have had the division locked up, but they lost it. So if the Kansas City Chiefs lose out and the Raiders win out, the Raiders take the division, and the Chiefs might not even make the playoffs. But, I mean, that would be crazy, but I doubt that's going to happen. But what a game for my Raiders. Chiefs are the 3 seed, and now we got to talk about the boys. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Antonio Pierce needs that job. Are you kidding me? He needs the job. Do you see the defense flying around, swarming to the ball, tackling behind the line, all in Mahomes' face all day, 2 turnovers in a row, back-to-back plays, 2 defensive touchdowns in 7 seconds. In the last 4 touchdowns the Raiders have scored have all came from the defense. The last 2 touchdowns in the 63-21 win against the Chargers were from the defense. John Jenkins got a strip sack that was forced by Malcolm Kuntz, picked it up and ran to the end zone. And then 2 plays later, Jack Jones, I always call him John, Jack Jones called that caught that insane one-handed pick six. And then this week, we don't score a single offensive touchdown. Not one. 2 defensive touchdowns on back-to-back plays in 7 seconds. One from Bilal Nichols on a botched handoff between Pacheco and Mahomes. Bilal Nichols takes it in. And then the next play from scrimmage, Jack Jones jumps yet another route, picks off Mahomes for a touchdown. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was watching. The Raiders won this game. Aiden O'Connell did not have a completion after the first quarter. They were the first team since 2000 to win a game after not having a completion after the first quarter. Just an unbelievable win. I had to pull out the Max Crosby jersey because Max Crosby and Antonio Pierce have the boys buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. We're alive in the wild card and for the division going into the last 2 weeks of the season. Unreal. So like I said, 20-14 win, Christmas Day. Unbelievable Christmas present from the Raiders organization. Best thing I could ever have gotten. Huge win to keep the Raiders' hopes alive for the wild card and the division. 2 defensive touchdowns at back-to-back plays in 7 seconds, like I said. 2 defensive touchdowns in back-to-back weeks. And all 4 of the last 4 Raider touchdowns were from the defense. Unbelievable. Aiden O'Connell did not have a completion after the first quarter. First team since 2000 to win a game with 0 completions after the first quarter. And it's the first time in Mahomes' career where he loses to a rookie QB. He was previously 8-0. And the Raiders were 11.5-point underdogs on this Christmas Day. Largest upset over Mahomes in his career. So a couple firsts there for Mahomes. First time losing to a rookie quarterback. Largest upset for him. 11.5-point dogs. The Raiders were. Huge win in Kansas City on Christmas Day. Let's freaking go. So we jump ahead of the Broncos too because they lost to the Patriots on our holiday game of the week. They fall to 7-8. The Raiders are 7-8 too, but because we beat them in week 1, we go ahead of the Broncos. So the Broncos, they lose 26-23 on our holiday classic game of the week. Bad loss for playoff hopes, and they fall below the Raiders into the 12 seed, as the Raiders are the 11. The Chargers, they fall to 5-10. They lost to Buffalo 24-22, and they're not very good. They have way too many good players to be this bad, and we'll see what happens with their new coach and GM. We'll see what happens this offseason if they're going to get somebody new. The NFC West, the 49ers, talked about them. They fall to 11-4, and they lost to the Baltimore Ravens, 33-19 at home. Bad loss. Brock Purdy really blew his MVP chances through 4 picks last night. He went from the favorite last night before the game to tied with Dak for 6th favorite, and now Lamar's the favorite. They're still the 1 seed in the NFC, but that was a unexpected handed defeat by the Baltimore Ravens over the San Francisco 49ers. And the Los Angeles Rams, they beat the New Orleans Saints 30-22 on Thursday Night Football to improve to 8-7. And the Rams are really one of the NFL's hottest teams as of late. Stafford just became the first player in Rams history to win 4 straight games with 2 or more passing touchdowns and 0 picks. Puka Nacua has been unbelievable this year. Unbelievable. He's got 1,327 receiving yards on the season. 1,327 already. That's already the 5th most by a rookie in NFL history. He's got 2 games left. So he's probably going to get even higher on that list. And listen to this stat. So here's the most games with 140 or more receiving yards by a rookie in NFL history, right? Number 1, Bill Groman has 5. He did that in 1960. Tied with him, Odell Beckham Jr. also had 5 in 2014. Billy Houghton had 4 in 1952. And this year, in 2023, Puka Nacua also has 4. So tied for the 2nd most games with 140 or more receiving yards in a rookie season with 2 games to the left. And 1,327 receiving yards, already the 5th most by a rookie in NFL history, with 2 games to go. And he's got 3 games with 150 yards. That would be the tied for the 3rd most by a player in the first 15 career games. Puka Nacua has been out of this world. The Rams have been unbelievable over the last month, honestly, and they move into the playoff picture, 6th seed in the NFC. The Seattle Seahawks got a big win to move to 8-7. They're the 7th seed, right behind the Rams. So 3 teams from this NFC West in the playoff picture right now. They beat Tennessee 20-17. Geno led a game-winning drive to put them up 20-17 and move right back into the playoff picture, like I said. And 2 weeks in a row with a game-winning drive, one led by Drew Lock on Monday night last week to beat the Eagles, and this week Geno beats the Titans 20-17 with the game-winning drive of his own. And the Arizona Cardinals fall to 3-12. They lose to the Chicago Bears 27-16. They're not very good. They're going to need some help here. And that's going to wrap up our NFL standings update. A lot of crazy things happened on this Christmas week in the NFL. A lot of wild games, a couple NFL history. The Raiders making big moves in the AFC West and the AFC playoff picture. alive with 2 weeks to go. 24 teams alive and ready to go for the playoffs with 2 weeks to go. That ties the most in 19 seasons in the NFL. So these last couple weeks are going to be insane. A lot of stuff going on. Make sure you check back the last couple episodes. We'll update you with the playoff picture, all the crazy things that go on, and get you up to date with the playoff or NFL news and what's going to happen in the future for the playoffs. And we'll give you a playoff prediction when that comes around. So if you want to follow us anywhere on the Bobby Valentine Sports Show, it's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff at the Bobby Valentine Sports Show. And if you have any questions about Bobby Valentine Sports Academy, hit up the bvacademy.com for anything you might need, lessons, clinics, birthday parties, anything you might need. But that's going to do it for us here. Week 16 NFL Podcast, episode 32. We'll see you next time. Peace out. Merry Christmas.